Honourable Deputy Speaker, I thank Honourable Vanawalu this morning. Perhaps, Honourable Deputy Speaker, may I be permitted within the time available just to explain this rather interesting but quite often misread and not a lot of accurate information is out in the public domain about this important topic. But as we're all aware, standing trees are important and play a very critical role in water catchment areas as they stabilize the soil and reduce erosion. Number two, they regulate water flow to mitigate floods and droughts. And thirdly, more importantly, is they purify water, thus improving the water quality that we uptake in our tanks every day. By way of legal framework, Madam Deputy Speaker, Section 5 of the State Lands Act provides that any land that is taken on lease by the state shall be made out to the Director of Lands, and water catchment areas, water catchment leases, are currently leased under this provision, as it is a lease for public purpose in the provision of water to all. On behalf of the government, the Director of Lands negotiates with the landowning units as well as with TLTB that whilst rivers and streams themselves, the ground upon which water flows from hills to river, belongs to the state for public use, the catchment dry areas around the rivers and streams belongs to mostly, in all of these catchment areas, they belong to Itoke landowners. Madam Deputy Speaker, Fiji has no existing policy on standing trees compensation. Currently, compensation for standing trees is being guided by a cabinet decision of 1987, which provides that should any merchantable timber be removed, royalty is to be paid. So I emphasize that the payment is upon removal of the tree. But since water catchment leases condition that lessee, that is the Director of Lands, who's leasing the catchment area, shall not remove, dispose of by sale, take or injure any forest trees or otherwise any forest produce growing upon the demised land without the written consent of TLTB, and such conditions as to the payment of royalty or otherwise prescribed by the forest regulations as the lessor may direct. Consequently, Madam Deputy Speaker, compensation is only applied to trees or forests which have been felled or removed. But because the primary purpose of the catchment area is to maintain the quality of water, therefore all standing trees around it are not felled and they are therefore not compensatable. At the moment, Madam Deputy Speaker, as I had mentioned before, there are no policies on standing trees on catchment areas, and as usual, as one would expect, that payments can only and will only be made if there is a cabinet directive, or of course if there is a change in law. So, Madam Deputy Speaker, recently in a cabinet decision in 2024, we have approved a paper on standing trees compensation for water catchment leases. The review will also include the development of a policy, which is yet to be brought back to Cabinet, and in the formulation of that policy, There is going to be strong consultation with the Ministry of Forestry and Fisheries, of course, the Ministry of Finance, the Lands Valuation Chief Valuer, and the Itoke Ministry. After the formulation of this policy, we should be able to have a very clear pathway and executable document on how to deal with standing trees that exist on water catchment areas. Thank you very much, Madam Deputy Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honourable Minister Vosarogo.